Hello, it's Air Silent Silver Wolf of Love and Above, and I am here with your Wellbeing Wednesday. So, a bit like a thought of the week, but it's more aimed at your well being. And here is a statement that I want you to think about. I'm back in my power. What do you need as a validation sometimes to remind yourself that you are back in your own power? So, let me give an example of what I mean. There's a lot of, particularly women, out there who think, right, back on the diet Monday. It's always Monday. It's never right this very second. Well, it can be for some people, right this very second, or tomorrow. But for a lot of women, it's just like, oh, better get back to it all again Monday. So, there's a thing of validation of I'll do it Monday. I saw a post, and this is where it all where this thoughts come from. It's from a post that's just like, it's August. I'm back in my power again because it's August. So what I really want to kind of think about and say is, what validation do you need to have to be back in your own power again? So the first question really here is, why did you give away your power? And secondly, what validation is it that you need? And are you looking at external validation that isn't really relevant? If it's the 31st of July and you say, oh, it's August tomorrow, I'll be back in my power tomorrow, that's kind of fine. Depending on who you are, I follow Tony Robbins. I follow a number of self development people. And Tony Robbins says that, if something happens to you, a couple of hours, let yourself wallow in that emotion for a couple of hours and then get back to it again. And I'm like, okay, a couple of hours seems like, he tells a story about how somebody worked for him on the financial side, and then all of a sudden took all his money, and he lost, he nearly went bankrupt because of it. And I'm just like, wow, that's kind of really awful. And he spent just a couple of hours before he got over it to actually carry on. Now that, for me, that feels quite extreme, but for him that might be his normal. For me, I always kind of sleep on it, give it a couple of hours sleep on it, change my emotion towards it, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm back on the track. So 24, 48 hours. But for some people it's like with the whole diet thing, Monday and I'll feel better again. Or when this happens, I will feel better again. I'll be back in my own power. But so here's a thought: what is stopping you from getting back into your own power now? This very moment. Maybe if it happened a couple of minutes ago, yes, take the time to actually get into that space where you get over whatever has happened. But if you're giving away your power to a person, where it's just like, if this person doesn't tell me I'm good enough, then I'm not good enough until they tell me that I'm good enough. Because the only person that realistically you should be listening to is yourself. If you feel that you are good enough, you are good enough. And if you don't feel that you're good enough, why not? What is it? I mean, there's a difference between not feeling good enough and trying to hit a target and not hitting it and going, right, okay, this is what I've learned, this, that, and the next thing. I'm not going to beat myself up about it because I haven't done it, but I've done all this work towards it. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm just going to look at what I've learned, and I'm going to look at how I do it better next time, for example. But you are not who people say you are. People look at you as as they perceive you as one thing, where you are who you think you are, who you know you are. And if you don't feel good enough, you need to look at why you don't feel good enough. And it's all about, so going back to this validation, you know it's August, I'm back in my power again. Why weren't you back in your power yesterday? Well, yesterday was August, maybe. Well, yes, it was August. We are at Wednesday. But have a think about, you know, why why you're not validating yourself, because you're the only person. It's a matter of self-love and self-care that you do validate yourself. And if something happens in life, there is nothing wrong with taking time to get over it, but get over it. You have to get over it in your own time frame. For some people it's a couple of days, couple of hours in some cases, even if something extreme as Tony Robbins being bankrupt because of his financial guy, which is actually really awful when you are in that situation, because all of a sudden there's a lack of trust there and everything, and somehow he got over it in a couple of hours. But look at, you know you don't need that external validation to know that you are in your own power, that you are you, that you are enough. Anyway, here's your thoughts for Wellbeing Wednesday. If you're on YouTube, I would love it if you liked and subscribe to my channel. Press the bell notification so you can keep up with all the videos. I put out 5 a week, depending on what day it is, depending on what you get. Today's Wednesday and it's Wellbeing Wednesday. So I'll always end with keep rocking your awesomeness.